Small businesses, you guys have lost the plot. I don't care if you handmade it. It looks like trash, and I'm not paying outrageous prices for trash.
Support small businesses, but they're closed on Monday and they're only open whenever you're at work.
This woman is going viral after exposing a New York City bakery for lying about homemade croissants and really getting them from Costco.
Alright, so today we're going to be taking a look at small businesses because it feels like more and more people are deciding to start one just to make a quick buck. Or they just want to start one as a hobby or a dream like in the movies, and then they're surprised that the business is not doing well. I think with the amount of side hustle and business content that's all over social media, it's convinced people that this is an easy way to get out of the 9-to-5 race, and it's far from that. We have a ton of stuff to go over today along with comments from you guys from previous videos, so if you want to be featured on a future video, leave in the comments down below, but let's just jump right into it.
Small businesses, you guys have lost the plot. I don't care if you handmade it. It looks like trash, and I'm not paying outrageous prices for trash. I don't care if that means I'm not a girl's girl, or I don't support small creators, or I don't whatever. I've been to the markets. I've sold at the markets. I've sold my own art at the market. And you guys are overcharging. This was being sold at a craft market by a 12-year-old and her mom for, take a guess, $5 for this. And yeah, the little girl made it, and yeah, we wanted to support the little girl in doing this business, but mom is out of reality. Like, no one is going to pay $5 for this, right? We offered $2 and they accepted it. Still overpriced. The local farm stands around here are selling tomatoes for $2 a piece. 1 ear of corn is $1. You can't buy a loaf of sourdough bread in my area for less than $12.
Going straight over to the comments, people think owning a small business is a quick way to make the big bucks. It's exactly the opposite. If you're not priced in the same ballpark of your competitors, there's no logical reason to buy your product. Obviously, they can't match chain company prices, and that's totally fine, but they still need to be in the same ballpark. You can't expect to profit 40 to 50% off of every single sale. I'm all for supporting small businesses, but I'm not overpaying just because you're local. People say to support local businesses, but they're 3, 4, 5, or 10 times more expensive than the grocery store. And I think it goes without saying people don't have that kind of expendable income to pay more for those items now. I asked you guys in an older video, do you see small businesses struggling where you live? The first reply back is saying if you haven't done farmers market videos yet, those need to be put on blast next. Insane prices. We've talked about it a few times on this channel. I did make a dedicated video on my second channel, and to add on to it, there's a ton of examples of that same produce at the farmers market just being resold from places like Walmart. I'm right outside of Portland, and small businesses are closing weekly. Rent is $2,000 to $5,000, and people can't afford what they have to charge. It's crazy. Restaurants are charging $20 for a gas station sandwich, particle board furniture from an artisan furnisher, 3D printed crap and Temu junk from a hobby store. It's almost impossible to find a decent small business to even give your money to. In our small town, we get a lot of tourists during the summer. They charge an arm and a leg for basic services and food, and basic attitudes too, and they still stare at you expecting a tip. I've absolutely no desire to support small businesses anymore. I used to have a standing order for Amish sweet rolls from my local coffee shop. Last month, she tried to charge me a subscription. Oh, man.
This woman is going viral after exposing a New York City bakery for lying about homemade croissants and really getting them from Costco. So a woman in New York City posted a video of a DoorDash delivery driver bringing in massive amounts of croissants into this French bakery. And when she looked a little harder, she saw that they were bringing in dozens and dozens of croissants that looked exactly like the ones that this place was selling. Now, why would a French bakery that is supposed to be making everything fresh in-house be ordering so many croissants from Costco? Because according to them, they indulge in house-made pastries. Well, people quickly found out that these are just the same croissants from Costco where you're paying $6 for a box of 6. This same restaurant is selling them for $12 each. And now the restaurant hasn't responded, but they've been doing some very weird stuff like turning off all their comments on social media, as well as not finding any bad reviews over the past week since this video has gotten millions of views. And I can guarantee you people have definitely been leaving 1-star reviews, but it looks like they're mysteriously being hidden from Google.
I like how this company was also so lazy that they had to DoorDash all of their products. They really couldn't get one of their workers to go out and buy all this and then bring it through the back of the store so all the customers didn't see it. You're still lying to everybody, but at least it wasn't blatant like this. Going over to the comments, do you realize all restaurants do this? More and more people are figuring out that anyone paying $12 for a croissant deserves what they get. So false advertising is legal now? I guess so. And they all do it, including your favorite local restaurant. That example made its rounds on social media, but this isn't a one-off issue.
Okay, they have tiramisu, they have carrot cake, they have pastries, and then I look over here. What? I'm not supposed to see that. I thought this was homemade.
If somebody ends up finding the exact cake, I found the seller $32.29 for 14 slices. And I bet they ended up charging a lot more than that price.
I'm curious, would you pay $10 for this fruit cup right here? So recently I set up a stand in Seattle the day that we hosted our last FIFA game, and surprisingly a lot of people complained that $10 was way too much. So for a little background, these are 16-ounce containers full of delicious, really ripe fruits, and a lot of people compare it to the grocery store. Now the grocery store pricing is a bit cheaper, as you can see here, but I'm not a big corporation like the grocery stores. I am a small business. There is convenience with me just popping up in Seattle, and I make sure to carefully pick all of the produce so that it is very ripe and super sweet. So with that being said, comment your opinion below because I genuinely am curious what people would feel comfortable paying for this. I personally think $10 is reasonable, but I really want to hear other people's opinions.
I wouldn't pay more than $5, especially for Walmart produce. And she even showed it in the video. No way $10 for 2 fruits. I'd get a whole watermelon for $5 and pineapple for $4 or $5 also. Another person saying Walmart fruit, no way. The creator responds, you're the second person to comment this. Not all the fruit was from Walmart. I don't know, even if that was true, it's not the best look. $10 for fruit is wild, and asking for opinions and then fighting everyone in the comments is wild. I don't even know what to say about that one.
I never want to use my platform to hurt a small business, but I just saw something and I gotta say something because this is not right. Not sure who here saw Serge's food review of this ice cream shop Baked in Tempe, Arizona, but it was horrible. This portion, $17. On top of that, he asked for caramel drizzle that he didn't get, and there was a hair in his ice cream. Okay, whatever. That's not what I'm mad about. Look at this. So I'm scrolling and Bake's social media comes up and someone comments, can you explain why his portion was so small? And they said single scoop is $11. And they said, yet he paid $17. And then they say, is that what he said? Lying isn't nice. So they're accusing now Sergey of lying. And they said, well, why are you doing it then? Because they're literally lying. And then Bake said, we would never, crying, laughing, Bake. Sergey came in with the freaking receipts, guys. So he posts it and it's like, what are you talking about? I'm not lying. And the people in the comments, we want answers. So he came with the receipt, LMAO. So please explain now, real quiet now. And finally, Bake says, he was right. We gave him wrong order. We have apologized. We're sincerely sorry for his experience. Sergey's chilling. You don't need to apologize to him. You need to apologize for yourself. I mean, to be accusing people of lying on the internet after basically stealing and ripping off from them. I mean, wow.
How to destroy your business in one single video on social media. Even if he wasn't charged $17, a single scoop being $11, that's what this comment says, $11 for a single scoop, I would go to the store and get a whole carton of ice cream. Somebody said grand opening, grand closing. They act like $11 for a single scoop is normal, and he was incredibly nice with his review considering what he received. Because I know some of the food influencers on social media have started a lot of problems, demanding money from these small restaurants, I mean thousands of dollars. Completely trashing some of these places even though overall they have really good food, just lying about everything to get more attention online, but this is one of the cases where the small business was in the wrong and made it worse online.
If you live in Nashville and you know what prickly pear coffee is, I'm gonna do a little experiment real quick just so you can be pissed off with me, okay? I have these thing called split cups, okay? I usually get a refresher from them. It's like give or take $5 or $6 for a refresher. The split cup is supposed to be 2 full drinks. She goes to ring it up. It's so you could try 2 different flavors. She goes to ring it up and it's like $12 and some change. And I go, wait, is that for 1 drink? And she's like, yeah, because it's 2 drinks. And I was like, oh, it's 2 full drinks. And she was like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'll try it. It's like I'm making a video anyway. I was like, whatever, I'll try it. I was like, I'm going to do something when I get home after I drink them. I'm going to put it in a venti Starbucks cup because this is what I usually get, like my refreshers. This cup is $6. If I get a venti refresher, it's usually about $6 and some odd change, right? This was $12. This is not full all the way with water because there's no ice in this. They put ice in it when they give you a refresher. Venti, Starbucks cup. $6 and some change when I get a refresher. Look at this. Add ice to that. That's just as much as you get in a split cup thing for half of the price. I'm never going to Prickly Pear again. I'm so irritated about it.
Why don't you guys support local coffee shops? This is why. If I ordered a large pizza, half pepperoni, half mushroom, I wouldn't get charged for 2 pizzas, I'd get charged for 1 large pizza. Makes a very good point. This company also went on social media, and it did not go well for them, just like the last example, but we can move on to another inevitable coffee clip.
Our hours are 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., Wednesday through Saturday. We have 2 parking spots. So we actually cannot do a caramel latte. Our syrups are cardamom persimmon and grapefruit dandelion. And that latte will come in a 6-ounce or 10-ounce size. You cannot work here. You cannot socialize here. This is a hangout-free zone. That will be $8.97.
And that'll be $8.97, and the screen's gonna ask you a couple questions. 3 indoor seats and they're all stools, that'll be $16. Mind you, this isn't even an exaggeration. But we can move on to another example where some of these people just seem like they opened up a business as a hobby.
If you're a business, can you please update your hours or post when you're not open? Because I've noticed, and there's actually a particular place that I've been trying to track down, constantly closed, like every other day. And I try to go out of my way to support them because I genuinely really like them. But when you're constantly closed, every time I show up and you're not posting, like, you know, that your hours have changed, it's really hard to support you.
I mean, at that point, at least for me, I would have just cut my losses. That always makes me think they're a front. That could be a possibility as well. All of those consignment sneaker stores now, even though shoes aren't nearly as popular as they were, 5 years ago? Rent isn't cheap in those locations either, and it doesn't look like many people are buying. But we got another comment from you guys right here. Social media makes people think they're business savvy, especially around COVID times when so many people are online constantly. You had a bunch of influencers and gurus showing how much they made starting their business. And whether they were telling the truth or not, it made people think it was super easy to do the same.
The reason small businesses are so small is because y'all greedy as Why are you trying to speed run the profit? Why is it that you're trying to double your money with your first launch? You sit there and try to sell me
a 100% polyester shirt
for $75. What is wrong with you? We're talking about a shirt that has 3 washes before it becomes
dust.
And you're trying to make yourself a millionaire off of it. Well, if it was a Nike shirt, y'all would have bought it instantly.
You're damn right.
You're damn right. Because I can wash a Nike shirt all week long and that shit won't disintegrate. And then you want to sit there and tell me that you come from humble beginnings, or they weren't humble enough. You signed up to be a business owner. That's a 24-hour job. Why are you trying to make fast money on us? I'm tired of y'all trying to cheat the process and then come on here and act like we're the problem.
I still think there are a good amount of people trying to start their random clothing brand each day, but if you don't have a following to begin with and you're making really low quality products, you're honestly just not going to get the sales you think you are. You guys don't support small businesses, you're right. 6 chicken wings for $14.99. A $100 tracksuit but doesn't come as a set. And we got another comment from you guys here. A lot of small business drama seems to be the reality clashing with someone's lifetime movie fantasy, and it's not going well. But we could just move on to a couple of these odd side hustle clips.
Let my next side hustle begin. 120 count for $40. I'm doing 2 boxes this week. And this is how they look fresh out of the box. Into the oven at 325 for 12 to 14 minutes.
And that's just the end of the video there. Apparently that's $400 to $600 extra a week. Going over to the description, you could do this alongside a full-time job. It takes around 4 to 6 hours a week, depending on where you're at. Sell 3 of these for $5, earn $400 in sales, and make $320 in profit. She just keeps going over more numbers. If you sell 2 of them for $5, you'll earn $600 in sales and $520 in profit. But that's basically all she says, so I guess you have to go to some sort of farmer's market. That's That's clearly not free to set up your stand, and the prices are going to vary depending on where you live, along with again just straight up lying to your potential buyers. Of course, they're not going to say, no, I bought all of these frozen at Costco and I just put them in my oven. They're going to say that they're all homemade. And I know a lot of people's argument, again, just like restaurants, many food places do this with Sysco, but these types of videos, the easy side hustles to just be mass consumed on social media, are very misleading. And we got another comment that goes along with it. These are not businesses, these are just side hustles and scams. Another one up on screen that I think this entire account is BS. This one just saying Stanley offered us $3 million for our design. And it was just a way to make ice in rings so you could put it in your Stanley cup. But then when you go over to the account called the Lazy Side Hustle, there are an absolute ton of videos that are just completely made up. A lot of them talking about Shark Tank. Shark Tank told us this is a bad product. They offered us $3 million for our design. Apparently the exact same amount that Stanley did. But then when you go over to the link that they have on their profile, makeshortvideos.com, it is another funnel for you to buy their products. This one's a masterclass for $47. So every one of the claims that they have on these videos are just completely lying to you. They're doing it to get views and engagement and hopefully money, but they're probably getting a majority of the product from these courses. This kind of stuff just never ends on the internet.
Well, this looks like the worst place ever. I'm right outside of Busch Gardens in Tampa. They have Busch Hot Food and Ice Cream. Ignore the AI sign for a moment. They have grocery essentials, beauty supplies, and cleaning products, along with apparently hamburgers, tacos, milkshakes, ice cream, and french fries, and fried fish, and Cubans. Yeah, this place wasn't here a month ago.
And something tells me it's not going to be there much longer. Heading over to the comments, to be fair, the AI makes it look 100 times worse. I agree. I know we talk about AI a lot on this channel. I could have made a whole segment talking about the small businesses using AI pamphlets, the AI food pictures when it comes to restaurants as well. To me, it just seems like another shortcut because they're trying to make as much money as quickly as possible.
Once a month, my work has like this farmer's market. Last week, I went to it and I bought a keychain because I was like, supporting small businesses. I'm so nice. I'm so kind. It's so cute, right? I went on Temu the other day to order. It doesn't matter what I was going to order, but I ended up finding the exact same keychain on Temu for like 20 cents. You ordering bulk off of Temu or a cheap website and then reselling, I don't support that. And like, you have the audacity to tell me that like you made some of these keychains and then you outsourced them. Yeah, your outsource was Temu. I did some digging because I took some pictures because I thought a lot of their products were cute. And I was going through the pictures. Every single product that they had in their little pop-up store is on Temu. I'm just pissed at myself.
Seeing cheap mass manufactured stuff at the Ren Fair also sucks. And we got another comment kind of defending it. You literally just explained how most of our economy works. Buy cheap and sell to customers expensive, which on one hand I understand, but when you're lying straight to the customer's face saying, yeah, I made some of these, when that clearly wasn't the case. I bought a knife from outside of a Tractor Supply from a veterans thing, and they said they were handmade. And I legitimately found the same crap and I paid like 20 times the price. Another issue that pops up, a comment from you guys, support small business and they still treat their employees like crap and pay them nothing.
The next time you're thinking, oh, I think I'm gonna join a small company, I just really need you to hear me and I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this. If you enjoy having your Friday nights free and like feeling accomplished and like scratching a bunch of stuff off of a to-do list, do not join a small company. Do not. No matter how early you wake up or how late you work, you will never, ever finish that to-do list. I started work at 5:30 in the morning, think I'll be finished earlier. Nope, it's 8 o'clock right now. And have I finished my entire to-do list? Not even close. Not even close.
Now, I know this sounds like all of the small startups we've seen on this channel, but we could go over to the comments. Small business means 5 jobs for 1 person. You'll wear all the hats and barely make money. Now, there are a lot of clips like what we have up on screen right now. No one talks about how hard it is going from this with a whole bunch of people. You got a lot of customers waiting for your food, to this where there's absolutely nobody waiting. We appreciate anyone that supports small family businesses. This is who you're supporting. I get that you could post these types of videos on social media, but but it kind of seems like dry begging to me. There's a lot of restaurant clips similar to this. My parents opened this local restaurant, nobody's come in yet, please support us. Or those random craft accounts on TikTok saying nobody bought my earrings, I feel so bad, I spent all this money. Maybe that'll work for some sales or some business, but I don't think that solves the long-term issue, especially when we head over to the comments. Absolutely everybody's complaining about the price. I'm sorry, but your place is super expensive. I see everyone complaining about how expensive it is. Ouch. Answer, the prices, you're welcome. They're straight up robbing people nowadays. I stopped coming to this place when I paid $132 for my family of 5. Lower the prices and people will come. COVID really inflated everybody's ego. Haircuts went up to $50 minimum, and food trucks went from a $6 meal to $18 minimum. We got another one of the art examples, no hate please, available for sale, $525. And it just looks like you dunked a sponge into paint and spread it across the canvas. I'm pretty sure they sell the exact same painting at Marshall's for $29.99. It's $25.99 at Ross, but it's lovely. Very nice, but I think $525 is a bit steep. And somebody else saying people in the comments have never seen art gallery prices before. Okay, so there's a few things with that. If you made it to an art gallery, that probably means you're either a pretty popular artist already or do extremely good work. The other issue with that is the art market as a whole. Many people have talked about it being a way to launder money because people are spending absolutely ludicrous amounts of money on, I would say objectively bad art, but I guess everybody's tastes are different. But regardless, this person is just a random TikToker. Are you going to pay $525 for a piece of art from an artist you know nothing about? Probably not. And then when you say these kinds of things to them, the business owners act like this. How small business owners react when you walk away from their stall because you saw their homemade, organic, recyclable, environmentally friendly vegan chain priced at $103. But we'll end with a couple of clips showing that this is not easy. Even if you do want to open up your own business, quit your job, chase your dream, open your own bar. That's how I went from making $10,000 a month to making $100 a month. Let's open a bar, we'll make dozens of dollars. Quit your dream, chase your job. So you quit your 9-to-5 job just to work 24/7. Crazy idea to open up a bar now. People don't drink anymore, which definitely is a good point as well. The younger generations don't drink nearly as much as the older ones. My friend owned a bar, he lived in the back room for the first 5 years. And my dad owned several bars and he made about 37 cents an hour. Breaking news, business is booming. We sold 1 coffee this hour. I know we've already gone over the coffee stuff, but it's still same issues. You're open between 8 and 3. Please be so for real. People are already at work by 8 a.m. You need to be open at 6 to get the coffee drinkers. Closing at 1 p.m. is also wild. Short hours, thin menu, no obvious prices, some drinks I've never heard of and not explained. I don't really know what else to tell you at this point. But that's all I got for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. YouTube thinks you'll like this video popping up on screen right now, but hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll talk to you guys later.